There are some facts that you need to know before you go into the journey of NoFap. I have heard a lot of doctors saying NoFap is ineffective and does not provide any kind of benefit. They even say masturbation is good for you. But I wanted to take part in it to see if it is really true or not. After completing a month, I noticed some incredible changes in myself. I noticed more energy, increased social skills, muscle growth, clear skin, deeper voice, become an alpha male, no more brain fog, I become more smarter, better sex, calmness, and a lot more. I advise you shouldn't just listen to what people say online. Try things yourself. As I did on NoFap. Like Osho says, no society want you to be wise. Be wise, viewers. Don't just listen to what people say online because they claim they are doctors. I advise every viewer watching this video that want to try NoFap but thinks it has no benefits because of what they heard online by people who claims they are doctors. Please. Give semen retention a try. According to study, porn and masturbation affect your dopamine levels. Dopamine is a crucial compound, and it is responsible for happiness. This is why you are always unhappy, hopeless, apathetic, lazy, lack of motivation, fatigue, anhedonia, constipation, wimp, lonely. These are symptoms of low dopamine. Now that you know the benefits and detriments of semen retention, I will share with you easy and effective steps that help me overcome my addiction to porn. And I believe it will help you too. The most effective step is the last one. You can pause the video, get a jotter, and write these down if you want. 1. Find a therapist. A lot of people watch porn and masturbate, so feel free to tell your therapist the kind of porn you watch. It's very important you to get to the root of your feelings so you can overcome them. These specialists are trained to help people with sexual health concerns like yours and can offer recommendations. 2. Recognize unreal expectations. After you've gone for a long period of time without masturbating, your mind starts to play tricks on you saying, "It would feel so good." Normally, if you give in, it doesn't feel as good as you'd imagined. It's 10 seconds of pleasure and then you feel shameful, guilty, and frustrated that you now have to start all over after how far you've come. Your mind builds up expectations and ideas that just aren't reality. Don't give in to these unreal expectations. 3. Don't give up. Know that it will get better. If you believe that you can really find a way to stop your masturbation addiction, then you'll be able to do it. You have the belief that you really can win this battle, you'll be much more likely to succeed than if you're constantly second-guessing yourself. 4. Quickly forgive yourself anytime you relapse. Instead of giving up or thinking that you can't do it. Learn from every of your relapse so that you will be stronger next time. When you can forgive yourself when you relapse, you will start to view yourself as a loser, you will be more stressed, and it will make the habit worse. Realize that relapse happens in almost every journey of NoFap, so don't feel bad when you relapse. 5. Acknowledge and accept the temptation. This is the most important step, so listen carefully. This step works for me like a miracle against my addiction to porn. Because I learned resisting temptations is bad, and I know what to do instead of resisting. The way we give power to temptation is to resist it. So anytime temptation comes to you, don't resist it. I know most of you are surprised hearing this. When I first said this to a pornaholic, he asked, "What do you mean we give power to it by resisting it? Are you saying we should just succumb to it and do the actual act?" I answered, "When you try to resist the temptation, it fights back and stays around. When you resist the temptation or try to think away from it, it will come back more powerfully and you will succumb." He asked again, "What should I do instead?" I answered, "This is what you should do instead of resisting. Realize that we deprive the temptation of power when we acknowledge it by saying the temptation out loud. Or loud in our mind. For example, I want to masturbate or I want to look at pornography. Use your favorite type of pornography in the words. Repeat these words whenever you feel the urges. By acknowledging the temptation in this way instead of trying to force it out of your mind, you let it live, which puts it well on its way to dying. Acknowledging the temptation allows us to control the temptation, not to be controlled by it." He nodded in agreement, and asked again, "What about the accepting part?" I answered, "Because porn addicts feels guilt and shame over urges to look at pornography alone, makes them do the actual act. They feels guilty and shameful because they think they are weak and powerless over the temptation. They know they always give in whenever the temptation comes. So they start to feel guilty and shameful, over only the temptation, not even the actual act. And when you do this, you have given the temptation power already. This is what you should do instead. Accept the temptation. Realize the temptation to look at pornography happens to almost everyone. Accept it as a normal thing. There is no need to feel guilty or shameful over the urges. It's just a thought. It's powerless unless you give power to it. By accepting the temptation as a normal thing that happens to everyone, you have taken power from it. And you will see how fast it will die and let you be. He said okay and left. After 6 months, he called me in excitement and thanked me. He said my technique has been working perfectly for him. I shared this short story to let you know that there is a large amount of success on this technique. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos to help you quit your porn addiction.